Hey everybody, this is Monica. It has been a long time I haven't spoken to you all. So I'm at the park and it has been such a long time since I walked in the park. And I've been trying to convince myself for the last, 2 days. Okay, Monica, you need to get fit. As you can hear, my voice is like, I just walked up the hill. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna do this. So for 2 days, I've been telling myself, okay, you can do this. Come on, I gotta go for a walk. Let's go back to our Centennial Park. Let's do this. Let's put the podcast. And every day I've come up with any excuse so I don't go walking. So today I said to myself, okay, Monica, you gotta go. What can we do? What can make it easier for you to go? So okay, we're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take the podcast. We're going to take listen to a podcast. And maybe you're going to get inspired and write and do a video for people here. So here is what I say to myself how not to go for my walk. Do I really have to? It's so boring. And you could be doing something else. You could be focusing on your business. You could be doing something else. So before I would have said to myself, yeah, you got to focus on something else. It's more important. But now I've put my health and myself as important. I spent a lot of time putting everybody else's needs first. Putting everything that everyone thought I needed to do. I put my kids' needs first, and I'm not saying you shouldn't put your kids' needs in the equation, but sometimes you have to let go and let them find their own way. And I've been always thinking, oh my God, it's all about physical. But I realized there's a lot of emotional attached. There's a lot of programming. Like for me, the programming of weight loss was like, oh, you get there and then you always sabotage it. Or I don't think you can make it. Because I've made it a few times, let's be clear. I've dropped weight many times in my life, like real exercise and everything. But we have to look at the weight and the exercise and understand what's the deeper cause. For me, food has always been my, my crutch. Instead of dealing with my emotions, I stuff them down. That was the old me, the one that always needed to numb that pain, because I didn't have the coping mechanisms to feel emotions. So many of us have different coping mechanisms. I had workaholic. Yep, workaholic. Social media. What else? Caregiver. Let me think. Anything. But if you sit with it, you might see, really, what I'm noticing is there are certain patterns when I eat. And it's always sugar. And it's trauma-based. Now, what does trauma mean? I know a lot of you ask me, what is trauma? So trauma is just something that's happened in your life. It could be as little as, a friend hurting your feelings, to as big as a divorce, the death of someone in your life, the pain of losing your job, so many things. But trauma is how you react to what happened. So before, when I went through a lot of what I went through, and there were a lot of traumas, moving to a new country was a trauma, leaving behind everything that I loved and knew. End of my 17-year marriage, trauma, because that was my identity. That was the person that I was married to, have three kids with. Death of my father. What else? Independence, going from codependent and being used to someone else making decisions, and now having to figure out what it is that I want. Raising 3 kids as a single parent, raising a child that has so many struggles and challenges, and getting up every morning and trying to cope. So sometimes we just cope and cope and cope, and we don't speak up, and we don't say anything, and we don't ask for help, and we stay strong and we stay strong and we stay strong, and we smile. And inside there are days you don't feel like getting up. There are days you're like, why am I here? What is this all about? And then you wake up the next day. But sometimes we stay in that darker place for longer. So I hear you. I know how many of you are going through this. And I can tell you that my journey has not been easy. Still not easy. And having that, what do you call it, dark night of the soul, where you break down and you break open, and that pain is beyond intolerable. And you have to find a way out. And finding that way out, in my case, was spirituality. And all the people that, social workers, life coaches, people that I was guided to, and a lot of people that ended up helping me. But it was my intuition that guided me, even though I had no idea I had intuition, you know? So what I'm trying to say, not to make you sad or depress you, but every day is a new challenge. Every day is a new day. Every day you get up. And some days you don't feel like getting up. And some days you want to just say, enough. And some days you're just going to sit in bed for maybe an hour and say to yourself, what do I need? How do I feel? And maybe instead of taking care of everybody else's needs, you put your needs first and you listen. And it might say you need to go for a walk. And you say, okay. And it might say you need to call your coach. And it might say you want to paint today. And it might say it's okay, tomorrow will be a better day. And it might say instead of eating that, I don't know, piece of bread, you can listen and see what it is that's deeper. Or it might say, call Monica. But the point is, we're all going through something. And everything that you're going through is normal. I know a lot of us think that it's not normal. And we think sometimes we're the only ones going through this. And trust me, I was one of them. I was like, I can't talk about this. I can't talk about my marriage. I was this person 8 years ago that was always smiling, always there for everybody. And inside, I felt so empty. And for many years in my life, I looked like I had the best life ever from the outside. And I didn't understand why I wasn't happy inside. No idea. Because sometimes we're brought up to believe that this is it, this is happiness. But how can we know what happiness is if we don't know who we are, who our true selves is? And honestly, this journey that I've been on of really like breaking down, feeling, doing everything, it's taught me, wow, I really didn't know myself. I didn't know what I liked, what I didn't like. And it's been an intense journey, like really intense. But I can tell you, again, depends on the day, the morning, the whatever. But I can tell you, it's much better to live authentically from the inside and know who you are and what you want. And sometimes it's not the same as what other people think you need. So today, I'm taking it one step at a time. Yesterday, I might not have needed to come for this walk. Today, I needed to give you this message. I needed to climb up the mountain. And I may climb up again, I don't know. But I'm taking it one step at a time. Now my priority is my physical health. and my, what does Monica want? What does she want in her relationships? What does she want in her business? What does she want in her family? What does she want? Because every day you're going to have a challenge, really, every day. You're going to have a challenge of your kid, trust me, every single day. And I try to keep smiling and I say, okay, it's going to happen in a half an hour, you'll be at school. But it's a challenge every day. Sorry, throat chakra going insane. It's a challenge every day. And if we keep the challenge as the focus and not the inner strength, then we get diverted from our path. So before I would say, no, my health is not important, my physical health, emotional health is it, and it's not. It's both. You have to have both. And now I'm like, it's my goal. No matter what's happening in my life, my goal is to take care of myself and listen to my needs. Maybe today my need isn't physical fitness. Maybe my need today is just getting out in nature. So listening, and seek the help you need. There's so many amazing people. Sorry, I'm going to sit like this. So many, my hair. So many amazing people out there that can help you. And honestly, if you had asked me 8 years ago if I could help you guys, I would say, not really. I mean, I would have done it, mentally. And I wouldn't have understood. But now, with all the pain and the lessons I've learned, I can now help you with all these things because I feel your pain. And being an intuitive and an empath, it means I feel your pain and I feel your joy. So it's so important to feel. The key to life is to feel, whether it's sadness or anger or grief or happiness or joy. Feel, feel, feel. Now, a few years ago, I could not have told you the story without crying. So, just so you know, everything is going to be okay, people. Just listen to yourself, take the steps, even if you don't feel like it, like me on this walk today. But I feel a bit more motivated. It took about half an hour till I got through half of it. And now I'll probably do my walk and listen to some motivation. And maybe you can listen to me motivating you today. Okay? Love you all. Take care of yourselves and listen to yourselves. Bye.